Our final report coming your way now on the American Farm Bureau National Convention. Stronger Together, the theme, and yes, a virtual convention. Our guest on this one is Kevin Papp, president of the Minnesota Farm Bureau Federation. And Kevin, we're all working out of home right now, as you were all week. And I guess just initially, a different experience. But what I'm hearing, folks feel it really went quite well with the virtual convention.
You know, people involved in agriculture understand you got to be flexible, and you don't always do everything like you plan, whether it's the weather or whatever. Plan B is always an option. So we've met 101 times, not virtual. This is our first time with that, and it worked out quite well. We had over 8,000 attendees. But I think we're all ready to go back to face next year.
Absolutely, in Atlanta, that will be good, and hopefully state convention too up in the cities will be face to face and be able to do that. Well, let's get into some of the meat and potatoes of what went on. You were involved. There was a delegate session yesterday. Priorities were looked at, and also the American Farm Bureau Board, as I understand it. I think you're on the Midwest group of that, so heavily involved as well. First things first, we've got a new Secretary of Ag. I think folks got along with Sonny Perdue pretty well, but Secretary of Ag designee Vilsack coming in from our upper Midwest area. And also you've got some new players in Congress to be working with. Maybe just a quick overview on those things.
Well, it's so important that we're engaged already, not only with the new administration, the new secretary designees, but also members of Congress. We've got over 60 new members of Congress, a lot of people new to a committee, maybe new chairman in many cases. So Farm Bureau is at the table, mostly through Zoom, interacting with those folks each and every day.
Let's go down the line. What about trade? You know, that was been so much of the conversation, the Canadian-Mexican agreement, the China deal. Where are we at, and what kind of things were Farm Bureau pointing towards in the priorities and the goals?
Well, we always have to remember 96% of the people in the world don't live in the United States. So our customers are all over the world. And in agriculture, we're really much more dependent on trade than a lot of other businesses. So that's why we're excited to see Secretary Vilsack at USDA. He certainly is from the Midwest. He understands animal agriculture. He understands renewable fuels, but he also understands the importance of trade, not only maintaining the agreements we have, but looking for new opportunities as well.
Ag labor. I noticed as I was looking through some of the items that were covered in the priorities. What about ag labor? That's still a big issue for us in the Midwest.
It's a big issue for everyone. Some people it's more seasonal, others it's year-round. But no matter what it is, we need a more effective, a more affordable program that we've got reliable access to those workers. They're hardworking, they're experienced, and we really need them. We kind of saw a little bit of that with the COVID-19 and our just-in-time inventories and processing plants. So ag labor is always an important issue for everybody in Farm Bureau.
Kevin, what else? Anything else that you had an overview before we wrap up? Things that you think are important for our listeners and viewers to know?
Well, we did have a virtual convention. So we had that opportunity to have over 8,300 people attend. And the good news is, if it didn't work in your schedule, you still can do that. Go to the Farm Bureau website. All of those, we've got 50 speakers, 20 different breakouts. They'll all be available for 90 days yet. So go ahead and take a look and see if there's anything that interests you. It's a good opportunity for non-members to take a look and see what Farm Bureau is up to at the local, state, and national level.
Yeah, and it's fb.org, fb.org. And if you go /events, that'll get you there. And yeah, I was going to point out too, Farm Bureau members or non-Farm Bureau members, take advantage of all these great workshops that were held. We've talked about many of them, Kevin, on our earlier broadcast, but a lot of great material. And I suspect that we may see some more evolvement in future conventions, whether they're in person, and they will be hopefully, but also from those opportunities for people on the virtual side as well. And this will continue.
This will continue. You know, we heard from so many members and non-members that this allowed me to attend. I've got livestock. I can't leave the farm or the ranch. I've got to take care of things during the winter, but yet gave them the opportunity to participate. So virtual, I think, is a thing. Hopefully we get to see face to face, but this is something that's going to continue, I'm sure.
Kevin, what's next for you? Back to the farming operation, or you got some more Farm Bureau things you got to deal with in the next couple of weeks?
Well, we're just kind of dealing with the snowstorm right now, or the lack of snowstorm, and a few things, but kind of wrapping up for the week of Farm Bureau meetings. And then next week, we'll actually have a Minnesota board meeting and talk about what's going on at the state capitol and what are our priorities there.
Kevin Papp, we thank you for joining us, for sharing an overview from where you sit. And it's great for our listeners to hear that as well. Appreciate the work you're doing on behalf of farmers throughout Minnesota and for Farm Bureau. Thanks so much, Kevin.
Thank you, and everybody stay safe out there.
Kevin Papp, our guest. That's going to wrap up this broadcast and a video cast that we have on American Farm Bureau National Convention. Jim Bartles reporting.